Memorial Day to the veterans, to the family of the veterans. And if you're not a veteran, if you're not involved in the military at all, happy off day. We here. Monday, May 31st, man. Only 2 playoff games later on in the evening with Philadelphia and Washington, Utah and Memphis. So we got some time to kind of play around with a couple different topics. We freestyling it as always, in current events, things that get people got in their mind. So without any further ado, it's Trav, it's Ham, it's Jern, it's MJ. Fellas, happy off day, happy Memorial Day. What's on y'all basketball minds this afternoon?
These crazy ass fans.
You know, that's definitely, unfortunately, been a top of the list topic during these playoffs. So let's talk about it.
All right, this is not going to be the direction y'all think I'm going. Because I don't speak for people. I'm not going to address anybody who like to play stupid games and win stupid prizes. So we'll just keep that moving. This is actually addressing the people who are just so thirsty to get their memes out, so thirsty to get their troll out, to where you're not even watching the entire game and you end up looking stupid in the long run. So, for all my people who couldn't wait to just say the Clippers is trash, they're done, what do you have to say now? What do you have to say? I can't hear you. Watch the whole game in its entirety before you get to pop it off at the mouth. We showed you on this show yesterday, and you see why my name Cole Rafferty, because I'm a little bit tight right now. We told you the blueprint yesterday on how the Clippers could turn around and win this game and win this series. Attack Porzingis on defense, because he can't stay in front of me right now. And I'm nowhere near my prime. I pulled a hamstring 3 weeks ago trying to race a 15-year-old. He can't stay in front of me right now. He can't. Ain't no knock on him. It's just what it is. He's 7'3". And on the flip end of it, he's not punishing people in the paint like he should. So there is no real mismatch. So that's free food. Luka is clearly hurt. That I didn't account for. Nobody accounted for. But he's banged up. It's only so much he's going to be able to do. But turn the water off. And we seen this happen a couple of years ago when Toronto won, when we thought Milwaukee was just going to easily go away from Toronto, and then they won the next 4. I don't know what's going to happen in this series, but everybody just relax. Just watch and see what happens. They'll say what you're going to say. Jesus.
So, just to say this real quick, and I'm going to pass it right to Ham. I just don't, what my thing is, I think what we have adapted in culture and society is we want to be the first to do something. And that being first and trying to race to be first is actually what the issue is. It's better to report 100% real news and be last than it is to be first and report 25% of the story in its entirety. So with that being said, and now a word from our sponsors, Mr. Retired Player J Ham himself.
Go get the merch. That shirt looks beautiful.
Hey, I got it. Hey, I bought it off of Genius. You know, what can I say? Anyhow, speaking of said Genius, you related to something yesterday just in terms of the mindset. You actually been talking about this for the last week. The mindset in the playoffs. It's those cats that are skilled with high IQ. Decisiveness with Big Shot Ron was hitting on with Paul George, everything else. It's right there. We giving y'all everything that is like this game is so simple.
Simple as hell.
It is that simple. It's like some of this stuff we really truly overanalyze a lot of this because it's really that simple. Some stuff we can kind of get to the overanalyzation on because you got the mental health play, things of that nature, but it's like, the Nets, for instance. I've been saying this all year. If these people are going to walk into 120 points, and days like yesterday where their top 3 guys combined for 100.
104.
Technically. What more else do we need to see? Now, I think that we get to the next round. Once they clear this round, I think they'll have a little adversity against Milwaukee. Just my call. You know what I'm saying? Matchup wise, they'll get out of it, but that'll be that first real taste of adversity that we've seen them have as a team. So I'm looking at that with them going forward in Philadelphia and Atlanta. Go ahead, book that now with that. That's going to be Troel, and Trey. I'm with that.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that.
Trav.
Sign me up.
You know what? This show is going to be simple for me today because the simple fact that everything I sit up there and said yesterday and put out yesterday, we said it. We've been said it, and it's coming to fruition. So go to the next topic. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm just flowing off y'all today.
Hey, man, do your Velveteen Dream pose, man.
Hey, man. Hey,
That's
man.
classic too, man. Y'all are in y'all bags with this gear. What the
Hey,
hell?
man. I mean, it's
even
just...
the Hope is Powerful popping right now, man.
Dude,
Go get a Hope is Powerful.
Independent. So we talked about fan behavior, and that brings us to Kyrie Irving. And unfortunately, fan behavior has been an issue throughout the playoffs. I don't know if it's people the year and a plus in the house due to COVID. I don't know if it's the fact that they weren't in the building last year, but we talked about it on the show yesterday. This playoffs got a little extra juice in it on the aggravation level. My take on Kyrie Irving is this. First of all, I'm very, very 100% crystal clear. Racial abuse, throwing things will never be justified on this show or on any other platform with any sense. So let's get that out of the way. I do think there is a book or a story, one of them Atlantic pieces on what really happened with Kyrie Irving in Boston. I think there is a part of this that we may never, if Kyrie, it's up to Kyrie whether he ever wants to talk about it in full or not. That's up to him. It's cool. But I do think there is a part on his side of that story that he either won't own it or is never going to talk about, unfortunately, for us.
I have theories about that. What happened?
I do too.
Let's talk about the theories. It don't matter. It don't mean if we right or wrong.
I will tell hoop heads out there watching this show. I want you to go back to 2019 and watch games 3, 4, and 5 of Celtics versus the Bucks. And you tell me, bad series are possible. Checking out of a series is a different story. And with my basketball eyes, obviously I have no connection to Kyrie Irving. I don't know what's going on with that man personally. I know checking out when I see it.
You called it then. Like right then.
No, I know it when I see it. So MJ, I want to hear your theories. I think there is something that went completely south in that situation.
I think that the beautiful thing about studying history, that's what makes J. Ham such a national treasure that need to be protected at all costs. The beautiful thing about looking at history is it always repeats itself. Let's go back to the 1970s when the NBA number ticket sales was down. What was the reason why people didn't want to go see the game? Why, predominantly Caucasian people didn't want to see the game? Too much hot dog, right? What was Kyrie known for in 2019 before he started to kind of learn and figure it out? A lot of over dribbling, a lot of sauce. Not necessarily the Boston Celtics way of playing basketball. A lot of hot dogging. Add that coach who likes to play the chess game and do a lot of sets that sometimes could be a little bit much if you have the talent that you don't need to do those sets with, honestly. You add that in the equation. You also add the guy that y'all calling a hot dog. He the only one with a championship.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not getting really any respect, despite you don't like how he did it. He's not getting a lot of respect considering he's the only one of y'all team with a ring. And he's not getting any input based off of, look, this is what needed to happen in order for us to get the ring. You may not like how I play or not, but I know what the locker room looks like to get a ring. Once you get a championship ring in the NBA, you automatically know what it takes and what it doesn't. You know if it's there, you know if it's not. And he needs to take all accountability. If he did check out, he needs to take all accountability on that. Under no circumstances as a basketball player would I ever vouch for anybody checking out of a basketball game unless something really like profoundly racial happened in which it was just disrespect or death threats to his family or something like that.
Right.
Then I could get it. But to be honest with you, from the looks of things, from what I'm seeing personally, I think it just had a lot to do with that. They did not accept his style of play.
You know what also didn't help? You're a victim of your own success. Remember, Kyrie wasn't part of that 2018 run to the East Finals Game 7. That's Jason Tatum. That's Jaylen Brown. That's Scary Terry Rozier. So everything that MJ just said, on top of the fact we then go deep without you, our young guys show that they're ready maybe earlier than we thought. So when Kyrie came to Boston, the whole premise was sick of LeBron, won my own squad. Okay, cool. But it doesn't happen like that. Because you're not there when they make the run. The young guys come of age. You come back the next season. MJ, as MJ just talked about, Brad Stevens is trying to now establish his principles with you. But now you also got these young guys who are now doing well on their own and have their own dreams and aspirations for their career. Again, the story really, I would really be interested into that story because something went off around halfway through Kyrie's second season in Boston. And here we are today.
I think somebody in their front management tried to pull the "I'm the chief, you the Indian" card with him, which is why he lighting sage in that garden right now.
Possibly.
Y'all see, I slow it down. That was a bar. I said chief, Indian, light sage. Come on, man. Y'all not ready.
I called it.
Come on, man.
If we had to Don DeMarco,
I am with you 110%.
Come on, man.
We here. So, Jeremy, we'll get you back in with Kyrie and kind of all this that's going on with him.
So, from the time he was here in Cleveland, right? When he was here in Cleveland, the thing that a lot of people liked about Kyrie was he was a pretty free-spirited person. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, free-spirited kid. The thing about it is I think ultimately a lot of this spirals from the situation still in Cleveland to a certain extent.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's trust issues with management and front offices that I think he has a problem with. And I think that stems from the time here in Cleveland. A lot of people don't know this, but it is true that Dan Gilbert, the owner of the team, was pro LeBron, and the GM, Griffin, was pro Kyrie. So that was a separation in the front office and with management and everything like that. So when Kyrie originally signed that extension, he signed the extension with the understanding that the team was going in a direction to work with him and exclusively build around his talents. Now, in that same time, we get LeBron with the letter to Northeast Ohio. He comes back. Dan Gilbert is ecstatic because he never thought he would get LeBron back and the way he did. pretty much LeBron didn't even ask could he come back. He pretty much put the letter in. This is real, y'all. I want y'all to understand this is real. LeBron didn't ask for to come back to Cleveland. He literally signed, wrote that little Sports Illustrated thing, and after that, pretty much contacted and talked to people from there.
He
So
pretty much was like, yo, I'm on my way there.
Basically,
so leave the door open. I'm on my way there.
Put the key under the mat.
There you go.
Put the key under the mat.
Hey, why LeBron treat Cleveland like a bus down? He didn't even call him up to tell them away. He like, nah, they're like, call me when you get here. I'm already here. What you talking about?
Hey,
I'm already here.
So
open the door.
So with all of that being said, right, and all of that stuff kind of being where it is, the David Griffin thing, it looks like David Griffin lied, but David Griffin didn't lie. David Griffin just got put into a bad spot in that situation because of Dan Gilbert. And then after that, they start moving pieces that was supposed to be there with Kyrie to build the team that LeBron wanted. And then it became LeBron's team all over again. And basically Kyrie had to deal with it.
LeBron moving like a toxic baby daddy out here, man.
Hey, so when all of that stuff happened, and then you transition it over to Boston, I think that's one of them. That's the classic thing that we have in today's society which is people got trust issues.
Yeah.
And now that the players are getting to that point where they got trust issues with management, you get these situations where it's like, okay, I don't want to be here in this situation. As much as I would have loved to stay here and be with this franchise, I don't trust them because I don't like the direction that we're going, even with the way that we're speaking in meetings, the way that we're going about these different things. So you couple all of that together, you add in the Brad Stevens factor, you add in all of that stuff, it just kind of feels like to me, Boston probably would have wasted more time with Kyrie at this stage.
Yeah.
And I think Kyrie, this is the part of Kyrie that I'm going to give credit for. Kyrie knows if he's going to have an opportunity to win or not with whatever he goes to or wherever he goes. When he first went to Boston, new talent, head coach was decent, everything like that. It felt good. But you see, it was all good just a week ago.
Hey, for Cleveland, LeBron was Ving Rhames and Kyrie was Jody.
Hey.
This guy's unbelievable.
African squad.
Hey, but you know what though? To pick up on that trust factor though, Jeremy, especially when you look at his move to Boston, look who he got traded to Boston for.
Isaiah Thomas.
A dude who really they didn't want to pay the max to, and then they traded him while he was hurt, while he's injured. And according to
when he's gone.
And according to his interview on All the Smoke, which I watched a couple of days ago, they weren't really forthright about how the severity of what that injury could have been had he continued to play as he did. He thinking just get max. Danny Ainge he's a Celtic. What more can I say?
It's business as usual when the front office do it, but when players do it, it's just
it
sounds like pimping to me. That sounds like pimping to me.
It is. And I think you also found out too, and I think this is another thing I think I give credit to Kyrie too, is that I think sometimes, and we see this in our group, others all day long, the modern athlete is just not going to be controlled by championships.
Bigger picture.
They're not going to hold. They're not going to let you hold that over their head. That you didn't. That either that you didn't win the championship, or you won the championship in a way that they didn't like. The modern athlete don't care about it. So I also think Kyrie got to Boston. Add this on to your theory, MJ. And being the man wasn't that fun.
Oh no. And this is where he needs to take some accountability. He Because he even said during the season, he left us context clues to support your point. He said, I wish I could have talked to LeBron, or I understand what he means now. I mean, and that's all. Everybody goes through that growth process, though. Once you decide that you want to do it with something centered around you, you immediately realize how tough it is, and then you kind of, have a little bit more understanding as to when you wasn't that guy and you was next to the guy, all of the pressures and all of the things they had to deal with. Yeah. I mean, Kobe went through it. Everybody went through it. You can't skip steps in this process. You just can't. You can't. It's, the beautiful thing about this game is it is specifically tailored to have success dwell in the areas that you don't want to go in. It sits there. It sits right in that area that you don't want to go in. When I played, I was a nice guy. I just wanted to play and have fun. In order for me to win, it sat in the savage area. I had to develop some savage to get what I wanted. It sat there. And until I developed that savage, until I developed that military mindset to just, what? This is my job. Seek and destroy it. I started getting rewarded in the game. Even if I didn't necessarily win, I kept moving forward. Everybody is like that. And that's why, that trust the process is, as cliche as it sounds, it's real.
It's very real.
Absolutely. Trav, you want to jump? I saw you clap your hands on that part. Come back.
Man, what I love when MJ said that the process is, I mean, you can win a championship in many different ways, but the steps is still got to be the same. The steps doesn't change. The process of winning the championship can be different. We done seen it winning from the post. We done seen it winning from straight outside. We done seen it winning from a 2-guard dominant spot. We done seen it winning from a 3-guard dominant spot.
Preach.
We done seen it winning from a 4, or a 5. The process of winning the championship is different, but the steps to getting there is always going to be the same. I talked about this about Jimmy Butler, about being a scorer. You could be a scorer in many different ways, but the process and the steps of being a scorer, you can't skip those steps. And that's what a lot of people get tricked about, because a person sits up there and he shows his emotions with his chest and he beats his chest, he screams and all this stuff like that. Don't let that fool you to letting somebody be scared. I mean, the most scariest dogs in life are the ones that bark a lot. The ones that show you your teeth, the dogs that show you your teeth and don't bark, them the ones that you want to be scared of, because them dogs have been trained and they've been through the proper steps of knowing how to attack another dog or another person when it's time to. These ones that sit up there and do all that barking, you just flinch at it one time. They gonna buck back.
Right.
So y'all gonna figure it out, man. I ain't gonna say too much on this show because
keep talking.
Everything.
It's gonna continue to reveal itself.
Exactly.
I think what MJ said, talk about it being a process. I think that's the thing that we don't. That people are ever basketball players and are ever evolving. There are just very few guys who have come into this league. What's the state, MJ? What's your phrase, your slogan about you was? I don't want to mix.
You was who you was when you got there. Like in high school, the dude that you saw in high school usually is the dude that you see when you get there.
Right. But there are very few guys who step into this league, and you say on the first day, that guy is gonna be an all-time great from the first day. And in our lifetime, realistically, there's only been 3.
In our lifetime.
In our lifetime, it's been 3. It's Duncan, LeBron, and Mike are the only 3 who, from the first day they stepped into an NBA gym, were like, yep.
No rookie years.
That guy's an all-time great from the first day he gets here. And I think for Kyrie, like Jimmy Butler, who we talked about on the show yesterday, You are evolving and learning what it is like. And life in that first chair is difficult. It is not easy being Kevin Durant. It is not easy being Stephen Curry. It is not easy being LeBron James.
But you know what? They make it look easy because they love this game so much that you will not outwork them. You will not outstudy or outlab them. They are putting $1 million to their body. You are just not going to do what they're willing to do. Just like The Dark Knight, another one of my favorite movies. When Alfred was talking to Batman, and he was just pretty much saying, like, in order to beat him, you're going to have to go places that he has no rules. You have rules. That's the difference between you and him. He has no rules. These dudes don't have no chill. Like, whatever we got to do, we do it. Like, Kobe, rest in peace, went to Germany for a surgery that he had to sign a contract saying, if this shit go bad, we ain't obligated. It cost $1 million.
Yeah.
No. This man studied seals before he went and guarded Iverson.
Yeah.
He studied sharks hunting seals.
That's the level.
Do y'all understand the type? It's almost psychotic the type of commitment some of these dudes have in order to be here.
John,
they do all that just so I could look. This elbow jumper could look as simple as they make it. They do all of that just to get that one elbow jump shot that we say, "Oh, I can do that." No, the fuck you can't.
So, little show and tell time. Jerm said he had a couple things he wanted to just kind of bat around with the class today. So, Jerm, I'm gonna turn the floor over to you for a second. Just give us some what you have in mind for us on show and tell today.
Well, real quick, I'm gonna remix this for a second because part of my show and tell, I actually wanted to talk about lead players, understanding, making right reads, and things like that. And ironically, we got a comment over on YouTube, and we talk about Julius Randle. So give me one. We're gonna cook on this in a second. Shouts out to the viewers on Facebook and on YouTube. Shouts out to Leon. Anytime we see Leon, you know what I'm saying, we gotta salute him and show him some love because you know all the stuff he's going through. We got Timothy Moore, Tyrell Love, Big Jeff Hallman in the comments. We got Cam, and we got Flyer than Average Cam. He said, "What's up, fam?" But real quick, Jeff said he said he remembered the time that I was talking about with the thing, and he said he always figured that Kyrie and Griffin was phased out as soon as LeBron was on the plane back. I think we all can kind of agree.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it goes. When you got one of the at the time, I mean, LeBron, if he's not the best player in the world, he's one of the three best players in the world. So it is what it is. So Cam, so we get over here to YouTube. Cam says, he said, you know, y'all got some of Mama's cooking. Kwame serving it up daily. I don't believe in that. I ain't going no.
Don't get us started on Kwame, man. We'll be Kwame for another time.
Hey, so
appreciate the comment though. Shout out to the comment though.
But then he says Julius Randle need to be listening. My man down bad against this Hawks defense. Playoffs a different animal. Randle's 3-point percentage is higher than his 2-point percentage in the series. He's only shooting 33% from the 3-pointer. All love, fam. Boom, boom.
Because that binder's that thick on Julius Randle right now.
And we'll start right there. Ham, let's go, Germ, because this is your segment. Yep. Let's go, Germ, Ham.
So the first thing is this. MJ, I want you to as always, I like for you to comment. I wish we had less here as well.
Okay.
Part of being a situation like this is with being a lead player, a lead dog, right? Is you're going to get the majority of the scouting report. That means it's your job to make the right reads and facilitate the ball, you know, do the things that you're supposed to do when you get it. The things that Julius Randle has struggled with all year, now we're going to get in this bag because to show you I really watch all of these dudes, all 450 of them.
Let's talk.
Julius Randle has struggled against double teams. He has struggled mightily against those double teams.
You know why?
I have seen him pivot into a travel, pivot and step out of bounds, pivot and step on the half court line. Why is that? Part of the reason why is because it's understanding where the double team is coming from, understanding where they're going to attack you, what parts of the floor you should never be on. Now, if you go to over there to the wing and you end up getting trapped on the wing is one place you shouldn't be able to allow yourself to ever get trapped, because now you gave yourself a third defender, which is the side. He gets trapped in those areas too often. So that's one of the reasons right there. I'm making you proud, MJ. I'm making you proud.
Yes.
No, look, at the end of the
this is some good stuff.
No, look, at the end of the day, the thing with Julius in this situation is that's one of the things that he struggled with. The other thing is he's not a consistent jump shooter yet. He's still developing that part of his game.
Why?
So, well, number one is balance. He's never fully on balance a lot of the times when he's shooting.
I keep lining these up. Keep going. Keep cooking.
Hey, we in there. Look, I got the gear on there.
Keep cooking. Go ahead. What else?
So, with those things being said, what the Hawks are doing is the same things that other teams were successful at doing to Julius. And then you add the fact of the playoff implications to it, and it makes it a little bit higher pressure situation. So when we're talking about him knocking down 33% of his threes, he's not a three-point shooter to begin with. So they're making him and giving him that shot. That's one thing they're doing on the scouting report. And the next thing is they're cutting off the left hand and making him go right.
Okay.
With that being said,
that's the first layer. Ham, come in, get the second layer. I'll take care of the third.
Hey, before y'all even go, I'm finna, Jern, you are absolutely right.
Put some icing on the trap.
On everything. You are absolutely right on everything. But you said like they're cutting up the sideline. He's getting trapped on the sideline. See, this is where you got to think as a left-handed person at this point. Because let me show you something about left-handed people. Left-handed people think totally opposite of what they supposed to do. A left-handed person gonna always go on the right side of the court, because you know why? They didn't drill themselves to work on the right side so much they make it more of a dominant side. Notice Julius Randle do not go on the middle of the floor unless it's going towards the post. He's always taking a step back and stepping towards the right side. So when he gets the ball on a break, he don't never stay in the middle to contain. You got one sprint down towards the goal and you have another one going to the corner. He always cuts down either on the right side or the left side. That's how he's getting trapped. You got one cutting him off. You got another one coming behind. That's why that baseline is being that third defender. And when he gets on the post, notice he gets on the post on the right side, because he's been taught, well, not taught, but he's been trained to turn on his weak side, which is his right side, because he has made that his strong side. If he goes on the left side trying to post up again, they double it over here. Where he is strong at is what they're making his weakness. And when you saying that they trapping him because that's where his dominant sides is the top left side, the angles, and their right baseline. And that's where they're trapping him at to make him go that way. So that's why you seeing him trying to pivot out these doubles, turn the ball over. That's why he's pivoting, stepping on the baseline. But once again, it all goes down. It all goes by the steps. His steps is coming. His steps is coming.
Which is why I'm not about to kill him.
Let Ham cook, man. I feel like the minister that brought the other ministers, and I'm just sitting in the pulpit watching y'all cook. I'm enjoying this. Keep going.
It's the steps, as Trev alluded to. And it goes back to what you were saying yesterday, MJ, and what you've been saying for the last week, as I talked about earlier. When you come, it's not saying that Julius Randle has a low basketball IQ. What he's saying is that in this particular role, he's learning how to read and react and attack. Just that simple. It's a part of Big Shot, when Big Shot talked about the Phoenix Suns a couple of weeks ago, not to jump off of that, but it was like, The thing that we was concerned about was they ain't been here before. It's only been one of them. You can't cheat that process of getting to that next realm. So it's interesting when you look at a cat like a Julius Randle. I look at how RJ Barrett played yesterday. He was a lot more assertive, even though they got rocked. And also you're looking at what's around them. Derek is figured out how to attack it. Derek's OG. I prefer this version of Derek over the MVP version, personally. MVP version is kind of like Air Jordan. This was more like Mike at 35. You know what I'm saying? So he know how to do it now. That's the difference. And but when I look at it with Julius, and it's like what you were saying about the threes, he's not a 3-point shooter anyway. 29% of his shots this year were from three, which is a career high from three for him in terms of the volume, which allowed him to shoot the 41%. Look how he's getting the looks at the 41%, though. It's all coming just like it's like learning on the fly. It's a lot of trial and error, and you find your error the most this time of year.
And I only got 3 things to add based on everything y'all covered because we just want to beat you down at this point. Y'all already dead. At this point, I'm putting in the coffin and we're gonna bury it. So, first thing, what Trav said, we're gonna point at Trav first. What Trav said, the areas that he liked to operate. RJ Barrett, what hand is RJ Barrett, Trav?
He's a lefty too.
Is RJ not struggling as well?
Yes, he is.
Because there's not enough real estate for both of the left hand guys to occupy.
Exactly.
Stop right there. Number 2, who is the coach of the New York Knicks?
Tibbs.
What is Tibbs known to struggle with? He struggles with 2 things. The one I will give up as a layup. He struggles with giving his players too many minutes and running them into the ground, which he's gotten better at. What is the second thing he struggles with?
Offensive sets.
And adjustments.
Offensive sets, adjustments.
So once you're on with Tibbs, you got to figure it out on your own. And the third thing is the thing that I always preach. I will preach this to the death. Is scorer's pace. That's the only thing y'all miss. Scorer's pace. Julius Randle, if you look at him in Kentucky, he was a bruiser. Played specifically down low. If he did drive, it was 15 feet in. When he got to LA, when he got to New Orleans, he was still that bruiser type of guy. But then he developed a step back, which is part of the first step in being a good scorer. Then he was able to make the basic reads in the regular season because he was going at that scorer's pace and he was able to see what was coming in front of him. In the playoffs now there's different coverages. Now the speed of the game is different. Now those closeouts are coming quicker. Now that double is blitzing you coming quicker. All it takes is a different half second. Just like a quarterback making their reads, it's a difference between a quarterback getting 3 seconds and a quarterback getting 2.5 or 2. That matters. That's the difference between the interception and the touchdown. And right now, Julius Randle is learning the pace that he has to maintain even in the playoffs. And it takes time.
It's life. It's very similar to what Pascal Siakam went through with the Raptors last year. And that's life at the top. And that's life at the top of the scouting report.
Mm-hmm.
Life at the top of the scouting report. When you the first name on the report, a little tough. It's a little bit tough.
And if you don't have a skill that you can rely on, a specific skill, if you don't have a specific skill that you can rely on, you're going to struggle until you develop that skill.
Now, speaking of specific skill, they're going to lose the series. So let's be clear. I know y'all hate when we give people props when they lose. But speaking of a specific skill, or in his case, skills, I'm not going to mention the man's height because we're not even going to get into all that. But I will tell you this. Jason Tatum, Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am. Forget young players in the league. We ain't gonna we talk about who's the best young player. I don't even care about the best young player. That dude, for me, for Big Shot, as of this moment, is one of the best 12 in the league.
5 or 10 in that neighborhood.
You 10 at worst.
I'm thinking 10 at worst.
10 at worst.
Same way.
I'm gonna tell you this about Jason Tatum though.
Stuff that I have seen him do in this series. Yes,
Unbelievable.
they are losing the series. They are. But that is what the kids say. That's different. That dude is dead. I know MJ, you work with the ball, you kids. I'm sure they say this all the time. That dude is different.
Now they got a new word. They call him a demon.
Yo,
So let me say this. Let me say this as well. And this just goes a little bit into the show and tell stuff I wanted to talk about. One of the thing that I wanted to bring to the light for the show and tell today is skill sets, right? So certain things from certain players is very, very teachable, right? We can teach fundamentals. We can teach understanding what teams are going to be doing against you based on what you're good at. Just to say that what it is. What does Kawhi Leonard and Jason Tatum have in common?
It rains.
Well, what's something else they got in common?
That's a good question. What you got?
3-level
They
score.
both are students of the Kobe Bryant Academy.
At this stretch,
Reading.
Now, before you even start, no, we're not going to do that. And here's the reason why we're not going to do that. No, here's the reason.
Go ahead.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that only because those dudes was who they was when they got there.
Well, but this is where we talk about skill set. Skill set. Reading, assessing, and attacking at the proper angles. Understanding certain things. When you watch Jason Tatum and Kawhi Leonard, when we watching them in the mid-range, right? Where are they getting on the floor? Every time Jason Tatum does a move, he gets wherever he wants to get. It don't matter who's guarding him. It don't matter who's on him. It don't matter what defense you're playing against him. Now we're seeing the same thing also with Claude. We're not saying that Kobe is the reason why. I'm saying his skill set or the ability for him to process the game, you can tell from the way that those guys play. And if you can go and look back at some of the things he would do in certain situations. And now, Jason Tatum as a ball handler, let me just say this now.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum as a ball handler,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Different. Oh, yeah. That's not human.
Yeah, that at that size, whatever you want to, he has a smooth a handle.
Whatever you want.
I remember when I watched Open Court. Shouts out to my unidentified life coach, Isaiah Thomas. He don't know that he's my life coach, but he is. Shouts out to him. I remember he was talking about Larry Bird on the show, and he asked his buddy, is he really that good? And his buddy said, listen, this dude does not make any mistakes in his footwork. He doesn't make any mistakes with his angles. He has know-how. If you look at Jason Tatum, who is Jason Tatum's godfather? Anybody? Larry Hughes. He was working on that mid-range since age 15, Jern. I could pull up clips of him playing for that St. Louis elite team right now, and you will see him in that medium post, 17, jabbing, shooting, nailing it every time. I witnessed this dude at the McDonald's All-America game get to this one dribble pull-up every time. He already was this. As far as Kawhi goes, good comparison as well, by the way. As far as Kawhi goes, who was his coach's rookie year? It's a have-not game. Some people don't get those luxuries.
Absolutely.
They just don't. And it's sad, but it's just the truth. Even if I want to talk about Kyrie and how skilled he is, who was his godfather?
Rod Strickland,
the dude who made you jump. Wu-Tang said it. The dude who got to the paint in a hand check whenever he wanted. during handshake era and no jump shot.
And he like the one New York City ball handling guard that didn't like really have a whole lot of sauce, but still got to where the hell he wanted to.
He defined New York handle because it was like
Right.
if you knew the game, you understood what he was really doing. Like, man,
Right.
they just cannot keep this dude out the paint.
They couldn't keep him out the paint, man.
And you see Kyrie reloaded, and I seen Raj. I was blessed enough to see one of Raj Strickland's workouts. And the detail that this dude teach when he teaches handle, I understand why Kyrie is what he is. It's the small finite things regular humans don't even think about.
Mm-hmm.
And you got that information at age 14, 15, not including his father played overseas.
Right.
Number 0 for the Celtics.
He's different.
Yeah, he has know-how, but he has the proper coaching and the proper people around him to give him stuff that just normal human beings didn't have access to.
No, he got all the resources, but there are some things that he just got.
He just
got
it.
Yeah, some things that he can just do, like that other folks in this league
they just can't do.
Cannot do.
Yes, footwork.
Can I ask y'all? Let me ask y'all a question. Right? This is a fun question though.
Yeah.
What was Jason? What year will we say is Jason Tatum's step?
26.
No, I'm saying what year will we say? What playoff year will we say is Jason Tatum's step year?
Well, whatever the age 26, whatever he turned age 26, that's the one. Because at that point, he would have seen everything he needed to see.
Right.
He would have completely taken over whatever franchise he's at that point, because I'm not going to even say he will be a Boston Celtic. I don't know what happens with these players.
You say 26, right?
Because he was 22 now, right?
He's 22 right now. He's 22.
That would put him in like 8 years.
Yeah.
Because he came in early. He came in
in
like
18, 19
just
years
turned
old.
18.
Yeah.
But what also happens in 4 years, though? LeBron can't play forever.
LeBron gone.
Hey, Miles take his toll on players like Kawhi, who has pretty much played 100+ games since he came into the league.
Correct.
KD can't play forever. Somebody gonna have to take these reins.
And
Giannis, I love the way he played, but until he develop a jump shot, he's gonna be guardable.
He's set. He's trying to do that. Let me talk about Tatum for a second. First of all,
how tall is he?
He's 16.
6'8".
He's 16.
No, he's 6'8", man. I saw him stand next to Blake. Blake didn't grow. All right, Blake is 16.
Well,
Blake,
you know what?
Blake was taller.
I'm glad you say that because I'm not the only somebody that thinks that way. But Tatum is 16. I'm just gonna say that. Second, dude is on the same warpath as Kevin Durant. He's on the same warpath. When Kevin Durant stepped foot in Seattle and was doing what he do, and he took that to Oklahoma City, he's on the same warpath. The Boston Celtics, I think that coach got to go, and they need somebody that can be a voice, a different voice, that can put them in certain positions. And Jalen has to be healthy.
Yeah.
In order for Tatum to be the Tatum that we really want to see, Jaylen Brown has to be healthy. This series could be a little bit more competitive, especially on the warpath that Jaylen Brown was on this year. Jaylen Brown probably could have won Most Improved Player of the Year this year.
He could have. I agree.
Jaylen Brown, one of my top 5 shooting guards in the league.
Jaylen Brown has taken those steps also. And you have them two where you can't double, and if you do double, you're going to pay. Jaylen Brown is that guy. And I know Jaylen Brown is going to come back even better next year. But Jason Tatum is that deal. He's that deal. He just don't have enough firepower behind him to mess with this 3-headed monster that's in the way, that's scoring 104+ points every freaking game.
If I'm Boston, you know what point guard I'm going for?
Who was that?
Lonzo Ball.
Yep.
Yeah, that made y'all face do something, didn't it?
Yep.
Because think about this. All Lonzo is good at is getting the ball in the player spots and hitting open threes and D'ing up whoever you want him to D up.
And then
all the things that you do not want
6'8"
Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum to do.
Hey, Trav, he's 6'8".
Lonzo was
Let him be 6'8". He was 6'8".
Hey.
He was 6'8", missing all them shots in LA too. One.
now speaking of LA, and I know this is gonna sound like it is kind of flip flopping, and you know, in the playoffs, it's game to game overreaction. I said it on the halftime show before the game started, so this ain't even like second guessing. Lakers in trouble again.
They gonna listen, Big Shot. They gonna listen
And
one
it
day.
goes back. It goes back and forth. So yes, y'all can call it overreactionary. But this is now 2-2 again. You're gonna have to go back to Phoenix and win another road game with AD clearly hobbled. And somebody asked this, and I think it was our man Coach Barry asked it. I know he's got some limitations. Ham, I'm gonna go to you. Doesn't Montrezl Harrell got to get some more minutes at this point?
He would have to. Otherwise, why is he there?
Y'all want the truth, or we want?
But who he gonna guard?
Now that's where your dilemma is.
But see, here's the thing with that though. We know he has his defensive limitation, but this is now turned into a series where points have now become a premium.
A premium, exactly.
Phoenix isn't lighting the scoreboard up on them.
Nah.
Phoenix scored about 105, 106. They ain't killing them they killing them. The Lakers are struggling to score. The Lakers are struggling on the offensive end of the floor. They are struggling to put the ball in the basket. Yes, Montrezl Harrell defense is what it is. But if AD is, hurt, and Kuzma and the guard, KCP hurt, AD is hurt, and they are struggling to put the points on the board, you got to find 20 minutes, 25 minutes for Montrezl Harrell somehow and live with whatever happens on the other end.
And before you go, Ham, Big Shot, let me just first say this too. You do not apologize a motherfucking thing to anybody because we told you the blueprint on what Phoenix would take over this game. And I personally told you who was the key. Who did I say the key was?
Big man.
Who?
Big man.
DeAndre Ayton.
Ayton.
I took the liberty of pulling up the box score for yesterday. 6 for 8, 17 boards, plus 12 on the floor, 14 points.
Yeah.
They had a balanced breakfast scoring-wise, didn't they, huh?
No, but again, when I talk all the time about what? Impact. Impact. And the thing about it is, I don't know how many of these rebounds were offensive rebounds. Oh, I do know. He had 2, but he had 15 defensive boards. You know what that means? When the shot went up, that was it.
Yep.
There wasn't no more shots after that. Once they got a shot up, he cleaned it up, started the break, got the ball in the people's hands they needed to get to. Plus 12. Hey, he had a plus 12 plus minus. You know who else had a plus 12 plus minus? Devin Booker. He had the same plus minus as Devin Booker. Because those two are the matches. They are the matches.
What was Chris Paul's? Just curious.
Chris Paul's was plus 9. And then the real reason why they got put over, but it's something that unfortunately you just can't count on. Jay Crowder made his shots. He had a plus 21. And we know how LeBron likes to roam. You have to make your shots if LeBron is guarding.
They put 6 dudes in double figures, man.
They made timely threes. On top of making timely threes, the thing that Phoenix actually could have scored 120 in that game yesterday. The pace was there, everything was there. But they had a stretch of about a 4-minute stretch in each the fourth and the third quarter where they couldn't put the ball in the hole, where they were shooting too many jumpers and not attacking the rim, and those type of things. When Gasol comes in the game, Gasol has slowly but surely absorbed a lot of Drummond's big-time minutes. He hit 3-4 threes that helped start Laker runs. So it's situations like that where this Laker team, Anthony Davis, and this is, I hate for all my Bron-ulites, y'all gonna have to respect this. Anthony Davis is the engine that drives the Los Angeles Lakers, offensively and defensively, because Anthony Davis is the mismatch, not LeBron James. You can't teach 7 feet with guard skills that shoot over your best big man and lock up your best player on the perimeter and still get you 30 and 15. You can't do nothing about that. Anthony Davis is that dude like that.
Preach.
And just to drive home your point, I'm pulling up the stats in the wins that the Lakers had. In game 2, to your credit, Anthony Davis went to the line 21 times, ended up with 34 points, 10 rebounds in their victories. And the final score for game 3 in that summary, I'm pulling it up now. Bear with me. The box score for Anthony Davis. Oh, would you look at there? Anthony Davis had 34 points, 11 rebounds. And 6 offensive rebounds. Andre Drummond had 3. Another thing that I wanted to point out, just to make sure that I drive my point home as well. In game 2, Andre Drummond had 5 offensive rebounds. So that's 5 extra. And Anthony Davis had 1 extra rebound. In that game 4, none of them had over 1 offensive rebound.
No extra possessions. And when
But let's
you
look at the blueprint. Let's look at the blueprint of LeBron won teams. LeBron won teams have 3 things in common. The first thing is he has at least one guy that can get it himself that is really good. The second thing is he has a big behind him that is going to do nothing but get extra possessions for him. And the third and the final thing is that everybody else, you have to be a shooter. No matter how good you are, no matter what you do, you're turning into a shooter now.
Shout out to Joel Anthony.
Shout out Joel Anthony.
I mean, it was for Miami, it was Joel Anthony, it was Birdman. Y'all do was just go get the extra possessions and throw it back to me. That's what y'all do.
Hey, another shout out to Tristan Thompson.
Yeah.
That got him $80 million. That role got him.
Kevin
Love couldn't do it because he turned Kevin Love into a shooter.
Shout out to Dwight, like Big Shot said, Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee.
Go get my extra possessions and protect my paint, because now I'm an older LeBron. I don't got time to be coming from the weak side doing all that stuff to you. I don't got time for that.
And one more shout out before you go. And one more shout out before you go. It's my favorite player, Kyle Korver.
Hey, MJ,
John, what you was talking about, John?
So you said that LeBron always got a dude that get extra possessions, right?
Yes, sir.
So this dude that you was talking about that get extra possessions now for the Lakers, the best one is actually not playing any minutes in the series. And he was actually the 6th man of the year last year. And that's what he do is get the extra. Hey, man.
You gotta find the minutes.
At the end of the day, Trez is the best time to play Trez is with LeBron.
Yeah.
Trez should follow LeBron when LeBron comes off the bench.
But
Trez should be like,
I don't think Trez. Yeah.
Here's the catch-22. I'm gonna get us right back to Trav with Trez. If Trez play with LeBron, that means LeBron got to protect the paint now.
Hey,
There it is.
That is the only reason why I say the ultimate person on this team that makes the most sense, that is the glue to everything, is Anthony Davis.
There you go. I ain't even got to talk.
He is him.
Anthony Davis is not Montrezl Harrell that's gonna get them extra possessions. It is Anthony Davis that giving them the extra
It
possessions.
is. But I think if you don't have Anthony Davis, this is where you go big. I'm playing LeBron, Trez, Marc Gasol, June Tao, and Caruso.
Man,
absolutely. We're gonna slow this. We're gonna slow the game down to a walk. We're gonna slow the game down to a walk. We're gonna make it 88-84, and we are just gonna absolutely punish you on the glass.
Since y'all like the 90s so much,
hey, then we gonna call
you put that game in that settings.
Hey,
put that score in that settings.
And call Bob Costas, call Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones, call all them. We're going back to 1997.
NBA on NBC.
Hey, non-HD TV. You know what I'm saying? Regular definition television.
Have Aretha Franklin sing the national anthem. Don't just have that. Go all the way.
And every possession is precious. So you better take care of that ball.
On the flip side, the series that's probably getting the least amount of eyes, but another series that is a whole bunch of fun if you watch it. Denver Portland.
A lot of buckets.
What I love about Denver Portland is also old school, but it's 1985. Doug Moe Nuggets, Portland Trailblazers, Clyde Drexler, Jerome Kersey.
It's the official Kiki Vandeweghe Classic.
Oh yeah, it's the Kiki Vandeweghe Invitational. And what I like about what Portland is doing, it's not Dame or bust.
Nah.
Dame has not had he had a great half. I think it was game 1 or 2. He had a great half.
One of them, yeah.
But Dame hasn't had in a particularly explosive series. But they getting it from other places.
Yeah.
CJ's had a good series. Young Anthony Simons.
The biggest trade in Portland season. Norman Powell, Gary Trent Jr.
First of all,
again, Norman Powell knows what that locker room looks like.
He's done one of these.
First of all, Norman Powell is like the sneakiest hops in the league.
Oh, yeah. You will get bodied. Yes.
Man, he go baseline on you. If you ain't there first,
watch your head.
Watch your head. Norman Powell's had a good series. And the homeboy is doing he's doing as good a job as you can do on Jokic without help, and that's Nurkic.
Oh yeah, they practiced before for a whole year or two. He knows.
So he know what's up.
So he's doing. Not Jokic.
Nurkic.
We're not gonna do the Andre Iguodala 2015 thing versus LeBron in the finals. But Nurkic is doing his best to at least keep Jokic occupied. Denver gonna have to make another adjustment. And the guy for me on Denver who now, let me see what you got. And Ham, I know, and we talked about this guy a couple of times. It's Michael Porter Jr.
Blackish.
Young fella, guess what? Guess what, Playboy?
Let's see what you got.
What you got? It's that time.
This is what we signed. This is what we signed you up for.
It's that time.
Once again, Denver, why don't y'all pull out Bo? What do you have to lose? Why can't he just get 10 minutes?
They trying to keep that man value because they're gonna end up trading him, man. That's just bottom line, man.
If they trying to keep his value, this is the perfect time to play him.
They're gonna keep his value and trade that man. They don't want to sacrifice him being hurt like that. So
because
I mean,
go ahead, Trav.
I mean, that little guy from Denver, that Brazilian, he
Will
making
Campazzo.
he making Dame
He
life
he-
pretty hard and
he on
pretty
Dame.
interesting out
Ainge.
Real
there on that floor.
Dellavedovich, if you ask me. It's real Deli-ish.
Yes, Dellavedovich, but this one is, I'm not gonna say working. It's irritating Dame. And
Irritating.
Dame
Right?
is feeling it. The difference between Dellavedova and Steph is Steph got pissed and said the hell with it. I'm gonna take him down for good.
And
Dame ain't doing it yet. And I
because
hope
Dame still wants to
watching
run
this
the point guard.
right.
Dame has to bring the ball up, and that's going to be his level. Once again, in order to win, you got to be in places where you ain't that comfortable.
Correct.
You got CJ
Correct.
McCollum there. There's no excuse why you should be bringing the ball up the whole time in the game.
But
That's
he
too much.
ain't
That's
that
What
wasted
good.
energy.
Dame has done a good job though is his playmaking.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Really
no, he's still
good.
balling.
He's been real good playing.
And CJ and Powell, and we got to give it up to him. Throw up.
Yeah, Melo balling.
Hey,
Melo
You think he don't want
hooping.
this? You think he don't
Melo-
want this against his older team?
Melo
Hey,
out
Melo.
there.
a Melo shoot. Only Melo. This is what you love about Melo, right? They tell you we only want you to shoot this corner three, right? So Melo like, okay, I'll step out and take the three like y'all want me to. But Melo gonna shoot the elbow extended three. The one
Yes,
Wayne
he
supposed
is.
to shoot.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Every once in a while, he'll tell Dame, throw me a little bone right here at this 17 foot so I can
Hey,
size him up.
So even
Jab, one dribble,
even-
pull up.
So even when Melo does what y'all want him to do, which is shoot the three, Melo find the three you ain't supposed to shoot.
And
But
gonna
he
hit it.
that wing, that elbow extended wing three,
Yes, that's him.
he hitting that.
That's
He's
him.
been hitting that the whole series. So I don't have no dog in this fight, fella. I want to see Portland get out this series.
I do too. But I think it would have been if Jamal would have been there. Truly would have had no dog. Just let it ride because they gave us a great 7-game or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So I would have liked to see that one just ran back for another 7. I'm cool with that. But Portland got to advance something, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I think we waiting on the blow up, but it's like we still like watching them hoop. We can still appreciate when they on the tube, because it's like we get Dame, we get CJ.
They plan to save that dude's job though.
And before we even get there, I'm gonna even give him his proper salute. Now he done a fine job. He did a fantastic job.
He's done a good job.
He's on that seat, and he's just on that seat. He's
sometimes,
on this.
Man, you know what it is.
Sometimes you're maxed out. It ain't nothing more he can do. Ain't nothing
Exactly.
more.
Exactly.
I don't care who you get. You go get Phil Jackson, get whoever. There's nothing more that can be done.
Exactly.
It's maxed out, and sometimes you just coach it in the wrong era.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just coach it at the wrong time. Rick Adelman, Hall of Fame Rick Adelman.
Lenny
Thank
you.
You coached at the wrong time. You coach it in the MJ Phil Jackson era. Rick Adelman, you're coaching the wrong time with C Webb and the Kings. You're coaching during the
Shaq and Kobe in prime.
Rick Adelman's sick of Phil. That's what he is.
Yeah, Rick, you coaching.
He had another Phil.
Okay. So I think MJ, you're right. I think Portland, they just squeezing as much as they can out of CJ and Dame. This is what we can put around them too. And then we just roll the dice.
That's it. And in hopes the next person that they draft, when they have that next round, they could pretty much be like, this is bigger than, the game. They can really preach that family shit and be about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because the organizations that preaches that and actually show that, those are the organizations that, guess what? They keep their superstars. And also, if it looks good enough, they actually attract more superstars.
Hey, Germ, you got another topic? Because I just thought of something. But I want to make sure you got all your topics out.
Only the last thing I got is Mount Rushmore.
Okay, let's go with it.
So I don't like the Mount Rushmore thing of trying to place 4 or 5 players on a Mount Rushmore.
I'm going after you. Go ahead.
Because Let me start by saying this. There are big men in basketball that we cannot tell the story of basketball without, but we keep on talking about all these damn guards.
It's true.
There are certain players like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Mr. Lou Alcindor himself, that need to be recognized on a more consistent basis because you can't tell the story of basketball without him. We talk about Mike. We're going to talk about, obviously, LeBron. We're going to talk about but when KD retired, we're not going to talk about KD. When James Harden retired, we're not going to talk about James Harden. What we saying? I mean, what are y'all saying? I mean, what I'm tired of with the Mount Rushmore thing is it has to be subjected to just 4 or 5 players. I think when it comes down to it, if we're going to Mount Rushmore anything, you have to Mount Rushmore by position. The beautiful thing that we stated on this show already is we've seen point guards and one guards. Although it may not be a lot, they won championships as the lead guys. You know, shouts out to the Isaiah Thomases of the world. We've seen the 2 guards, obviously. Shouts out to Mike and the Kobe's of the world. We've seen Shaq as the center. We've seen Kareem. We've seen all these different dudes. Magic. But the one thing here is let's separate each position and understand each position's value. And especially we have to also factor in era. Era also has to be a part of this conversation because style of play, pace, all those different things, all of that plays a factor. So that's just that. Let me pass it to the panel.
No, I
think
think
Mount Rushmore, and let's focus on positions.
It's too hard to compare to just go to 4 guys because the game has just changed so many different times. Positions might will not even be a thing. Honestly, you honestly could just eliminate positions out the game at this point. So I'm with you, Jerm. I just think it's Mount Rushmore is similar to the GOAT conversation for me. It's like, all right, y'all can have that, whatever, but
I'm not feeling the whole Rushmore thing for historical purposes. Steph, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm going beyond basketball with it. That whole sculpture is based on Native American land. Why are not Native American sculpted there? I don't even like that whole, when they come around in February, President say, who your Mount Rushmore for this, man? Fuck Mount Rushmore, man. That's just me.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not feeling it.
Hey, you don't.
Yeah, if y'all notice, I changed my name.
And I was about to go Hotep Ham, but I ain't even really want to go that way.
Hey,
but it's like Mount Rushmore ain't got 4 spots. Basketball got 5, man.
Right.
We got a math problem already.
Right. You play 5 at a time. Why we only got 4 people?
And let me say this as well. Until all of you motherfuckers get a chance to watch a practice, watch a locker room over 82 fucking games, where you get to actually watch all 450 of these players do their role that they have been assigned. Because guess what? On a championship team, number 12, that 12th man on that roster that has to know everybody's plays, that has to mimic the other superstars so that he can push the other dude to be able to get into the lab so he could be prepared for that game. Y'all don't talk about him. He probably the most skilled dude on the court. I want y'all, for those who watch the game, I want y'all to just, here's an assignment for you. I want you to just go back and look at a game where, you know, cats were load managing. And just look at the bench dudes that got a chance. And look at how efficient their game was. Like, all of these dudes are killers. Ain't no Mount Rushmore. If you're going to make a Mount Rushmore, it's got to be one long-ass mountain that can fit 450 people. That's your Mount Rushmore. Don't y'all understand? It's billions of people that want to make this position.
Stop telling us too. It's just for conversation piece. No, it ain't. The conversation been the same.
And Jalen Rose said this, and I got to give him credit for this because to me, he's the originator and forefather of this podcast and ushering in this new school, a new way of media. So salute to Jalen Rose when I say this. He said, for whatever reason, why do the media always limit Black people to just like 10 people? Why is only like 10 names that's always resurfacing when we think success? You always hear Jordan. You always hear Denzel. Like, motherfucker, if you made it to the league,
I think that's been the whole premise of the Kwame Brown issue and everything is that it's just too hard to make it to this league. Whether
and stay there.
And stay there. If you play 10 years of NBA basketball at whatever you were, whether you was a specialist or a superstar, you played 10 years. You have done something to play 10 years. And here's the other part. And this is the thing I'm always saying to any average fan. 10-year NBA veteran role player will come to your Wednesday night LA Fitness League and absolutely destroy it.
A healthy 50.
Absolutely murder everybody in your LA Fitness's Wednesday night league. 10-year NBA veteran who average 4 points a game that you say is slow will come there with minimum stretching and absolutely treat everybody in there like they're his son.
I keep telling y'all the story about Earl Boykins. Every rec league in Cleveland, my goodness.
I bet
he only 5. He break you down. He even got a rule. He said, I don't even go to the hole. All jumpers.
Hey, did we say that AD was officially out for tomorrow?
No, we didn't, but you just announced it because his show popped up on top
of it. That's why I was just looking at that too as it popped up. I'm like, oh.
Hey, Montrezl Harrell, come on down.
As Jim Ross would say, business just picked up in Phoenix.
Man,
MJ played, I'm going to shout out my man MJ. When me and MJ met, MJ played South Suburban Summer League. Patrick Beverly, before he was Clippers Patrick Beverly, was an end of the bench dude in the NBA. Ask MJ what Patrick Beverly was in that summer league.
Bruh, it was disgusting.
What was he? What was he, MJ?
A dog.
Murdering people.
Dog, like the easiest 20 and a half I've ever seen. Like, and he's not going against like trash players. These are dudes who had 4 years of D1 college, who has patches on their shorts, as everybody like to talk about. These is real professionals. And he made them look like children.
Children. You are my
and
son.
From there, I'm like, it's just levels. It's levels.
Etwan Moore, same league. Easy 25.
Dude.
Easy money 25. And this is NBA journeyman for 5 points a night.
I'm going to give y'all one better. London Fletcher. Shout out football.
I heard he could hoop.
Hey, man.
Incredible.
Bruh.
Athlete.
They come to the court and they...
No, the football players is worse than the basketball players, to be real.
They get emotional.
They athletic.
The football team is really who used to win all the intramural leagues when we was in college.
Hey,
they bigger and stronger and more athletic than any doggone body.
And they in shape. They got a couple dudes that can play. That's
and
all
they already
need.
got the mentality to kill you because you don't
all they need is 1 or 2 dudes that can go get their own. Everybody else is out there with no ski mask.
Listen, I give you another name. MJ know this name. Shout out MJ. We put MJ in the spotlight today. Because he experienced it. Jerome Randle.
Bruh, listen.
They went to Cal.
That went Jerome Randle, all-time leading scorer in Cal.
Yeah. The TBT star.
He was nice at Cal.
He was.
Come on.
Y'all, I don't think y'all really, bruh. It's unfair.
Since we go in there, I can go back to old Bluff City Classic days, and he was a lottery pick and all. I understand, but Todd Day.
But thank you.
Todd Day would do it right now, though. Like,
But think about that. Ty Day had a decent NBA career.
Absolutely.
But people say, man, Ty Day, he was whack in the NBA. But he got there as a lottery pick, which means relative to the rest of the humans.
Hey, Ham, I'm gonna go one step further than Todd Day. I'm gonna say Cedric Henderson.
True to the game right there. That's even better than Todd Day.
I watched that live.
That's even better than Todd Day.
In living color.
He had no real sizzle. He was just a bucket.
And
it's so funny now that everybody has a mixtape now. They be having like 40-year-old dudes who can dribble a little bit. That's fat as hell. That could probably hit a jumper or two. They actually no knock on it because it's just what the culture is now. But it's funny watching that because I thought about all of the pickups I played. I'm like, I wonder if there was a camera around me for all of my pickups in my prime or my 35 and older league. Like I was averaging a cool 30.
Hey, the only old head I seen with a mixtape was Katil Mobley.
Now, think about that.
That's a noteworthy mixtape.
Think about that. Gray hair, 40 years old,
bad heart.
It can go to the Drew League, arguably the best summer league in this country.
And dominate.
40 and gray hairs and kill people. What do you think he gonna do to you at your Tuesday night 5 o'clock Bangers League? What you think gonna happen?
Kill.
This man going to the best summer league in the country, retired and wrecking people. What's gonna happen Tuesday night in LA Fitness? What you think gonna happen?
If y'all just don't understand it, man, it is a reason why it's only 450. And yes, I'm not saying that the next 450 after them don't deserve to play, and I'm not saying they are not good, but the 450 that has a jersey right now are incredible. I don't care how many times you see him with that blazer and that T-shirt on, making a fool out of himself, dancing every time the starter scores bucket. That dude in that blazer and in that T-shirt and them tight jeans on in the game, he will average 30 in any league you put him in that is not the NBA.
MJ, tell these folks. MJ has played against these people.
I have. And I will be remiss to say I have had my day in the sun against a few, and I will be real and say some of those busted my ass.
I'm just gonna tell
you. And those wasn't even the dudes that wasn't even the primetime dudes. I'm talking, these are just regular dudes that was just really better than me, busting my ass. And then I look at the dudes that's in the primetime games, they bust their ass twice. So it's just like
I remember we having summer league memories right now, y'all. So I hope y'all sticking with us. Bluff City Classic. We're gonna have Ham jump back in with some Bluff City memories. I remember seeing a mixtape. No, I gotta see it live. They had a stream going of the Drew League. And this is before he became what he became. And it was younger version of Klay Thompson. Younger version. And I'm thinking, 3-point shooter, don't dribble that much, yada, yada, right? Bro, he got that shit on the way. I'm like, is this Kobe?
Stop. Ball away. Pop, pop, pop. Step back.
I was like, this is not the same dude. This is not even the same dude I've watched. With shout out Mark Jackson throwing posts for Jermaine O'Neal, but this ain't the same dude. Klay was putting these folks in the triple threat. Klay was shooting fallaways, falling into the crowd.
Man, Klay be getting busy, man.
I was like, what is this? I was like, man.
If y'all think a dude who can average 20 in the NBA does not have package to be able to get his shot off, y'all are out of y'all fucking mind.
So Jeff got one for y'all. He said Alonzo Spillman.
I could believe that.
He said, play pickup with him. He was my post guy. Man, oh man.
I could believe that.
Jacob said Denzel Valentine.
Oh, no. Denzel Valentine. Be very clear. Don't think because he had one bad day at the Drew League.
Right.
I mean, he's still in the league right now. And if you notice, he learned from it, and he's actually really solid.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you if you go back to that Drew League now, it's a different story.
Man, he had murdered them people.
No, when you have that, when you're in that system, when you're in that machine, this is your job. This is the part that I need for people to understand. Like, because probably none of them can, like, career service better than me because I've been doing this shit for 11 years. You ain't gonna just come and do my job better than me that I've been doing for 11 years. And I did it 8 hours a day, 11 years. They get to hoop 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
With the best of the best at their access. Best facility, best nutritionist, all of the game film to study. People that are breaking down specifically the one thing they need to work on and having 45-minute training sessions just working on that. 365 days a year.
Right. You see that, you know, we see
and they
them
were already good before that.
Right. We have jokes about, you know, we always joke about the Rico Hines sessions and all that. Yeah. But when them dudes go to California, Los Angeles in the summer, as MJ talked about, them dudes get the Airbnb and they post it up for a month with the finest of nutrition, all the workouts, all the weights.
They really get better today.
Yeah, you see it look cool on Rico Hines, but them dudes worked out 5 hours before that. They was just 5 hours before that.
Yep, ran on the beach, all that.
I got another player for y'all that didn't make it in the NBA. Jared Sullinger.
Man, did y'all watch the dude? Y'all just watch the TBT tournament, man. Y'all just watch the TBT tournament. These are the guys that everybody be like, oh, they didn't do well in the league. But these are the same dudes that will come in your shop and wreck your shop. Like, Jared Sullinger took over the TBT.
Listen, Jared Sullinger is overseas right now, averaging 30 and 12.
I'm surprised he's still overseas.
I think I saw a tweet about that. Yeah.
Hey, big shot. Yeah. All types of buckets. You said you need buckets, every type of bucket that you need. Fall away, hook shot, running the floor, left hand, right hand. It don't matter.
That whole Ohio State team that be on that TBT.
Y'all think Aaron Kraft will D you up, take your cookies, bake your cookies, and then go dunk on you. He will dunk on you. And then after he do all of that, he will cross you and he will make you fall. So do not let any of this stuff that you see. William Buford is really like that.
Yeah, William Buford.
William Buford is really a bucket.
And Aaron Kraft still let Ohio State trying to get his doctorate.
Yeah, Aaron Kraft go to med school.
He a doctor. He a med school. Yeah.
I know. He come with the EMT briefcase before he come bust these folks' ass.
MJ, your guy. We talk about Ohio State. Deshaun Thomas.
Yeah, like
left hand, bucket.
Like before Beasley, it was Deshaun on the low.
Deshaun was a tremendous scorer, but oh man, they didn't make it in the league. Okay,
it's different out here, man. It's funny because I train them too. I train overseas guys, so it's like I know based off of what they get paid to do versus what I know what they can do. It's a whole different ball game, Jack.
Ham, you them old Bluff City, them dudes on Memphis Tiger basketball team that quote unquote didn't go to the NBA. They come in the Bluff City Classic.
It don't even be them.
It be the others.
It be the dudes that's in JC. It be the dudes that's going to the schools, you know, the little small schools in the little pockets in and around the area. They
Right.
come back and they be like, "Yo, it's just Shred City, man."
Man,
It's
them
like
folk be, folk be
I'm
going to
looking up at
school.
that. You
The
remember
folks be
Dietrich
going.
Golden on the trail?
Dedrick Golden.
I'm
Yeah, I
saying,
know
right.
that.
I just so happened to scroll. I'm like, damn, I forgot he my Facebook friend.
I'm gonna tell you, it's folks that be going to school like Free Hardeman, like
Right.
Roy. Folks killers, man. Them folks killers like that. Like I said, I seen Sid Henderson. Like we actually played against them at the Ridgeway tournament, man. Dude hitting miss, man, and then he doing the kick out shit, getting 3-point shots off, man. Dude,
Pro.
he a
If you
pro,
play in
man.
the pro, if you make it to the pro level, overseas of the NBA, you deserve
Yeah.
all the honors, all of them,
Respect these folks,
all
gangsters,
the
man.
respect. Now we may get annoyed with you and want you out of our league, but be clear.
It's only because it's 200 more. They should be in your spot. That's all.
That's all it is. It
No,
ain't
no.
right. As much as I am sick of Kent Bazemore, I wouldn't dare say Kent Bazemore couldn't hoop. I wouldn't dare say.
And also, too, somebody got to take his spot. Like, I remember Andre Miller, they just could not take his spot. Like,
No.
Andre Miller just had a spot in the league his last 5 years. They should have been took it, but you just can't.
Andre Miller, let me tell you something. Andre Miller is probably ate his ribs for Memorial Day. Is in some gym in Compton right now giving somebody the buckets as we are taping it.
Oh, yeah. And he got nothing but high schoolers on his squad, and they won.
Yep. He done ate all the ribs and potato salad for the day. And he's still in low top shoes with no socks. And I bet you he's killing it.
Working.
And he guarding the center.
Yeah.
He guarding the center.
It reminded me of that scene on Blue Chips when they was on the recruit trip and they went in there playing pickup and they all had on street clothes, right?
Against a real team. Like these dudes are starting. Ricky Rowe, Bush McCray, and Neon Boudreaux is different.
Bush McCray got a polo and some jeans on.
Throwing lobs to Shaq.
Throwing lobs.
These dudes on these NBA squads are different. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop it, man. You will not bust the 14th man on the Sacramento Kings. You will not.
Y'all let these working G League dudes, man. They just keep it,
Think about the G League. All them young dudes, and this is gonna be funny. Coach Les said this. He said, all these young dudes who think they're going to skip college and go to the G League, and they're going to go to the G League and kill people, have all found out that ain't how this works. All of them. Jalen Green has struggled in the G League. Jonathan Kuminga struggled in the G League. All of them. Because it's different.
It's different.
It's so different when you're playing against grown men that are paid professionals to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, we done went an hour and a half. We're gonna let y'all get back to the barbecue. Don't put raisins in your potato salad. Don't do it.
Don't do it. I don't even eat potato salad. Just don't do that shit. That shit.
It just don't even look good.
No,
don't burn. Make sure your grill is not too close to the wood fence of your neighbor, so you don't burn nobody's fence down. You know, we get some of that action every year around here.
No, that's terrible.
Somebody get their fence burned down every summer. Whole fence is burnt down. But it's Big Shot, it's Trav, it's Ham, Germ, MJ signed out, shout out Coach Les. 94 feet of life, man. Run this back. We're gonna put this in the group immediately. Y'all need a good pregame before Philadelphia takes care of business on Washington. And I'm going Memphis evens the series.
I'm going Memphis to even the series tonight as well. I just want to
the series.
I want to let the people know something because we don't have an award show this year, right?
We don't.
No, we don't.
So we'll be getting the MVP sometime real soon.
Because Julius got his most improved.
Right.
On the That boy
Probably
got
round
got the
two.
got the he got the 6-man Coach of the Year award was given out the other day.
Who won
So
Coach of the
Okay.
Year?
Monty won.
Monty won. Okay.
Okay. Good look.
Monty.
If we just so happen to have an MVP who's not in the playoffs,
Oh boy.
I've I've already wrote the comic book bullshit to defend him. Actually, I didn't even have to write it. It wrote itself.
I will tell you this, Ham. I will tell you this. Sneak peek. The show after they announced the MVP. If that guy is MVP, you and I are gonna have a little bit of a conversation.
Then
Yeah.
really, because part of it was part of the conversation me and Jerm had a couple weeks ago.
Because
A large part of that is that.
I don't know, fellas, and I know Germ, that is your guy. I respect it. I don't know if my basketball sensibilities can do that.
I can respect why I can't.
I just don't think my basketball sensibilities can allow for that. But we're gonna see when the award gets announced. Because if that happens, me, you, and Germ are gonna have a discussion.
I'm gonna have something to say about it anyway, though, Big Shot, because he's a finalist, and his people are already barking about it anyway. So I'm gonna have something
Now
just
look,
for that
my basketball sensibilities was cool with that part.
with the finalists, right?
I was
I'm
fine
cool
with
with it
that
as
part.
well.
But if he wins it, me, you, and Germ are gonna have it's gonna be Triple H versus Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels in the triple. Hey man, we're going a little too far. A little far.
Mm-mm.
And
We
it
gonna
would
rock
be
out
far. I thought about it though. It would be far. I've like thought about it on all angles where like, hey, this ain't right, but it'll be fun to argue for.
I'm not going. I am as far from a Steph hater as you can be.
I might even go get our homeboy Elton on this one just for the added extra effect of the statistical significance, because I know Elton gonna bring it.
Yo, we gotta have some limits around here. We got some limits around here.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is just stay tuned, man.
Stay tuned. If that goes down, I'm not gonna raise hell. We ain't doing Stephen A, Skip Bayless shit. We ain't doing that nonsense.
Nah.
But if that happens, me, you, and Jerem getting in the ring. Me, you, and Jerem gonna have to get in the ring on that.
I'm hoping that's one of the things that I was hoping for in the playoffs that happened that didn't have no business happening. It wasn't just resorted to playoff series.
Yeah.
It's resorted to stuff that I can have some alone conversations with friends about in that particular fashion.
Yeah,
so I'm good.
and as a matter of fact, because I'm team 94 above anything, I want it to happen.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, Big Shot. Give us some. You know what I'm saying? Give us something to run with.
Because we will have material. We will have show material that day or that next day, whenever it is, if that goes.
All I'm gonna say is I already got a whole spiel prepared to help my man's accept the award. Hey, we got a whole thing together for him already.
Oh,
It's over with.
I know. The three of us, as Travers, Ebenezer Malam likes to say, we'll have a lovely conversation with our friends. If that happens. We will absolutely. Because there are very few things. Y'all know me. Y'all know one thing. Ron is not a troll. Ron ain't on that. This might be the one thing that I will stand on the table for.
This is gonna be this gonna be interesting.
So, with that being said, man, we need to give y'all an hour and 40 today. So don't be asking for much more. Big Shot, Trav, Ham, Germ, MJ in the building. 94 feet of life, man. We out here.